The West Virginia Mountaineers have got some more really bad news as Rich Rodriguez went on his radio show today. Multiple people out for the year, and even worse news came down the pike, possibly about Ty Edwards.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby. Where we're talking about the Mountaineers on the football side of thing. Again, today, a baby. And look, it's a rough start to the week. We're going to tell you about that, unfortunately. But before we do, we have to get to the channel sponsor that we like to call Mazda. When it comes to Mazda, like our players, we sweat every detail. When you make every move count, pulling off the unexpected is only the beginning. Stay tuned later for highlights in this week's Moving the Game Forward with Mazda. Move and be moved. I'm not here alone. As a matter of fact, I've got an esteemed guest, somebody that I love having on. We haven't had him on all week, and it's already Monday. It's been so long since we've had him on here. Of course, we're talking about the offensive coordinator for the Ole Miss Rebels, Jackson Johnson.
How you doing today, good buddy?
Oh, doing good, man. Appreciate you for coming on and
thank
all
you
that
for
stuff.
having me on. I appreciate it, man.
In the midst of the shakeup in your life over there on Locked On or Voice of College Football, Alabama, everything you got going on over there, and everything you got on Jacksonian and such. But before we'll talk about that in a few. So the Mountaineers got some bad news today, Jackson. I know I was telling you a little bit about it on the side. So let's tell everybody at home about it as well. Not good on the injury front for the West Virginia Mountaineers at all. As a matter of fact, that's probably a good way to describe it, that it's not good. The quarterback situation is nuts now. We'll talk about that too after you hear about these injuries, and then we'll dive into Jackson's world of college football and see what that has in store for us as we turn to the Ole Miss, the Rebels offensive coordinator, to see what he knows about the game. But before we do, Rich Rodriguez went on his radio show today to talk a little bit about everything, and he dropped some bombs, man. Unfortunately, the big news, Ty Edwards is still in such massive pain that he's had to go now see a specialist, similar to what Nico Marchiol did for his hip. This feels a little bit different, Jackson, in that it was weird because Nico, there was no communication. Rich Rod didn't know what was going on there, right? It's like, I don't know. We haven't heard from him, that kind of talk. And this situation feels like they're trying to do everything they can to get the starting running back on the field, Jackson.
Yeah, they need all the help they can get. But it's just it's a shame that we're seeing so many injuries on the Mountaineers.
Yeah. So he wasn't the only one, and probably the most impactful right away. I mean, because Ty Edwards could still play. It doesn't look promising at this point in time. I will say that. But Ashton Woods, the redshirt freshman who had played so well at times this year, out for the year with a shoulder injury, and what's already a pretty thin linebacking core out for the year. That's not good when you're thin at a position, Jackson.
No, it isn't.
So we've got that going on. And I wish him the best. I think he put a lot on tape that's really good. He's obviously needs to put on some weight, and hopefully he's able to. And then we hear, last but not least, Jalen Henderson doubtful for the game Saturday. And maybe some fans don't care to hear that, but I mean, you don't want to be down to just two quarterbacks for the game. You know, that's bordering on emergent, right? So
that's making me think that's a Central Florida 8-point win. That hearing that kind of talk,
no, you can't think that. No, you've been spot on all your picks.
I know it.
So you know, first of all, I want to give my condolences to everybody that's really injured really bad right now. And I know it probably sucks, especially like Ashton Woods, who was having such a really solid redshirt freshman year, was really, I think, he had something to build upon, and he still does. This is giving me Josiah Trotter Jr. or Trey Lathan vibes, where they were pretty good early on, then an injury happened. Do they stay? Do they go? Who knows here? Who knows yo, right? Like that's kind of where we're at with it. And I'm frustrated, man. I got to be honest. I'm frustrated with all this. I really thought we were going to have some decent news coming out of the bye, and it's like boop, 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 boop. All the bad news are right up front. Maybe it's strategic on Rich Rod's part. Maybe he wants UCF to not take us seriously, or I don't know. You start to cope as a fan. Like maybe he's just playing games with him, and maybe the team's really starting to turn a corner. But we've seen enough from this team this year, Jackson, to know that they were going to have trouble being a bowl team with everybody, much less with a bunch of injuries, Jackson.
Oh man, there's no doubt. It's just 2025 is just hurting all over the place, man. It's oh my god, like injuries. Oh no.
Yeah. So, yeah. Raven, she said, "You know what this means, Paul and Jackson? Put some air on those helmets, lace up them cleats, put a little more tape on it. We need some help."
I'll do some running. I'll put in a little something in the running game.
Yeah. Jackson's the offensive coordinator for the Ole Miss Rebels. He's the offensive coordinator for Marshall. He is the offensive coordinator for who else did I say? South Carolina, Clemson. Yep. You're mostly down south. That's where your wheelhouse is. You call the offenses for multiple teams every week. Yeah. Because you were a great player when you were in college, or else we would call on you for help.
The day I was,
but you're out of eligibility, so we can't.
Yep.
No. Of course, I'm sure everybody knows I'm joking. Hopefully. All right. So, what else did Rich Rod say in his radio stop? So I was gone. I was out and about while this went on, so I was playing it on my phone in the middle of this grocery store. People were looking at me like I was crazy because I was like walking around with the speaker of my phone up to my ear because I didn't have headphones. So I got in places where I was zoning out, and I'd be standing there for a minute, and somebody would be like, "Are you buying something here?" Like one time, I was by the steaks. And this guy was like, "Oh, are you buying something, man?" And I was like, "Oh, man, I'm sorry." So it's frustrating though. I wish I could say more about the Rich Rod show, but as far as it being a more pleasant experience, but you've got people like, I want to give credit because Skylar Callahan and company were big on keeping me up to date, fill me in the blanks on some of the things that I missed, which I'm really glad for because I wasn't able to get all the info as it came through. But he talked about the team practicing Tuesday through Thursday during the bye week. He said also they had a Friday and Saturday off. He said Sunday featured a lighter session with some conditioning and tempo drills, which had the first team offense against the defense in the stadium. So they were trying to streamline transitions from meetings. He said that, and we saw the coaches putting up that, what were they putting up during the off season, Jackson? It was like, or not the off season, but during the bye week. It was gone fishing or something like that, or like a version of that, except gone recruiting, like they hit the road. It was pretty funny. So there was that.
I mean, recruiting and fishing are kind of the same thing, really.
Some coaches probably do go fishing while they're recruiting. I see what you mean. Yeah, they're going fishing. Yeah, you're right. Mm-hmm. So, the big topic today also was the recruiting, I noticed, and I did a video on that earlier, where Rich Rod's kind of talking about his philosophy. Wants to bring in what he said. I heard him say 45 high school kids, something along with 35, somewhere along those lines, 35. So aiming around to sign around 35 high school players overall, January and November. So, it's truly going to be that approach where hopefully you can retain your players that you build up, because we're not going to be signing 80 guys again next year, that kind of thing.
Oof.
What do you think about that as an approach to building teams in this day and age, Jackson? Like, obviously, there is the transfer portal only approach. There is the sum of each. There is the heavy on one, heavy on and light on the other. And Rich Rod seems to be heavy on high school and light on the portal. What are your thoughts on that approach?
Well, honestly, I think you should do a little bit of both. Do the high school recruiting and do the transfer portal. Because when you get overly reliant on one thing, it doesn't end well. If you're overly reliant on recruiting high school players and not going to the portal because you're not too crazy about the portal, well, we see how that's worked out for Clemson, how that's been working out for them. And when you get overly reliant on the transfer portal, you see what that's done to Florida State. Like last season, 2-10. Now this season, they had a great win against Bama, but they've had a failure to communicate against Virginia, Miami, and Pitt.
Right. So, Ravens asking for positives.
The best part about being down is the way to go is up. Up for 2026, up for 2027, 2028, and 2029.
Well, here's the thing, too, guys. If you want to look at a couple of positives, number one, financially, like somebody put in the comments just now, we are ramping up the ability to be better at that than we have been by quite a large margin. I would say at least probably close to we're probably going to be operating at maybe double capacity what we have been, maybe a little less, as far as what we're having to work with. So let's just see what it ends up being. I don't want to put a number out there and be wrong, but I think we're going to be in a spot to where we can compete. We're going to be able to. And I think the goal is to rely on high school recruiting and then just sign pay the guys that you develop, right? So I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's the goal. So we'll see how it works out for him. I mean, it's definitely been good in the past for Rich Rod whenever he's been able to build through high school. It's just we're in a different era now, and I don't know if you can keep the players you really need to keep. We're going to find out. That's for sure.
There we go.
On the other side of the break, we're going to talk with Jackson a little bit about the quarterback situation in Morgantown. We're going to talk about his world of college football. We'll give you something positive. Because I think that's a good direction to take it. It's been negative for weeks now. Let's look at some positives right after the break. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by our good friends at Mazda. Look, when it comes to Mazda, it's pretty simple. You know how Mazda moves the game forward, Jackson? It's really those who believe it's not just about playing the game, it's about redefining it. And there are moments to do more than put points on the board. They move crowds, they move culture, and they keep moving the game forward. This week's moment to move the game forward is Ren Baker's announcement. I've said it multiple times. West Virginia is going to be in the top funding tier of the Big 12, and they're able to be in the top funding tier of the Big 12. That, in and of itself, is a big deal. And just like Ren Baker, when you follow what moves you, the unexpected is only the beginning. And just like there's more to every highlight, there's more to a Mazda vehicle. Do it today with Mazda, where you can move and be moved. Segment 2. Of course, Jackson's going to crack a Coke, right?
I got an ice water dew tonight.
An ice water dew? Okay, I've got a water dew as well in this bottle.
There we go. An ice water dew. While waiting for the ad to end, I saw a little bit of Chris Berman, on my phone for a little bit.
Nice. The Swami. That's your idol, isn't it?
Who doesn't like the Swami?
Who doesn't like the Swami? Do your best whoop.
Whoop! And it's caught.
Nice job, man.
There we go.
Give me the fastest 3 minutes.
Oh man. Well, it was the fastest minute on ESPN Plus.
All right. So the quarterback situation is nuts, Jackson. You guys see why I bring Jackson on, man. He keeps me in great spirits, I'll tell you. All right. So this situation is crazy because, I mean, I really thought Jalen Henderson would be ready by now. Doubtful is a pretty bad word in the injury topics because doubtful it basically means you probably ain't practicing, which also means you probably ain't playing if you ain't practicing. That's just Rich Rod. It was Neil Brown too.
A better word than doubtful, I swear. It's like when somebody says doubtful, just say not likely to play because that's
Right.
much easier. Where it's a simple no is fine.
I agree. So let's jump over to, let's see. So obviously we've got a couple guys to check out here. Oops, misspelled it. Scotty Fox Jr. is the quarterback, I think, of the future. There are people that disagree. There are people that agree. Obviously, he can do things like this and run with it and stiff arm guys and different things. I mean, he can do it all. Obviously, we've seen these throws that he makes in practice. We've seen these before as well. We love him and what he can do in this offense, and he looked really good at times this year, although he did throw back-to-back picks in a game. But I don't hold it against him. I mean, he's a true freshman. He was thrown into a crazy situation after the starter didn't do anything for an entire half against a better team and was asked to come out and play hero ball. Like, it just was not an advantageous situation. And when he was put in BYU last game, he was capital R ready. And I think he's capital R ready, in my opinion, Jackson. Ooh. Especially if Ty Edwards is hurt and Sincere stays hurt and all these guys are just not able to come back. This season's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for us to win, right? So I think you take Scotty Fox, you just do what you can around his skill set, which he can throw it, unlike Khalil. Like, Khalil can throw it too, but Scotty's a more ready, developed passer right now. So I say you build this thing around Scotty and you see where he goes over the next 6 games, or maybe you do split reps between them. You know, you give them each a couple games. I don't know. You know, if one gets hot, then you stay with him. Otherwise, you play him each a couple games and hope one gets hot, you know. But you got to find out over the next 6 games, 5 games, 6 games, whatever's left, who, if you have a starter in either one of these guys moving forward, because they both have the mobility to do this. I think Scotty has the arm to do this as well. It's basically they're the opposites of each other in certain ways. It's you give Khalil the edge running the ball, you give Scotty the edge throwing the ball. Both can improve in those areas. Like, I think Khalil can massively improve throwing the ball. I think Scotty can massively improve running the ball. And I already started to see that against BYU. The run he had against BYU was incredible because it was decisive. It was impactful. I didn't want him to come out after the run. I'll be honest with you. I didn't want him to come out. Because we've been grinding it out all game with Khalil. And Scotty may have had the biggest play all night. I think he did have the biggest plays for us, 2 or 3. I think he had 3 or 4 total plays, and two of those were huge plays. So what are your thoughts on this quarterback situation, and which way do you lean, Jackson? Obviously, you watched the BYU game, didn't you?
Yep.
You saw Khalil Wilkins. You saw Khalil Wilkins in action. You saw what he can do. I mean, he's obviously not a bad football player. Nope. He's just, he's young. He's a redshirt freshman. And he was having to, similar to Scotty, kind of play hero ball on a team full of dudes that are supposed to be older than him.
Just don't let yourself play. Just don't let your receivers play hot potato with the ball. Don't get nervous at those CBs. Don't let the CBs scare you.
What are your thoughts on who would you go with?
Right now, I'll go with Scotty Fox.
Yeah. Even though Khalil was the starter last game and carried it 23 times and had some success against BYU, even though it wasn't a ton. I'm not trying to change your mind. I'm just asking you, well, why you think Scotty? Is it because the case I just made?
I think so. Yeah, you got me sold.
Listen, when I used to sell magazines door to door, I was a pretty good salesman. As a matter of fact, this is the truth. I can't even believe I'm talking about this. Whenever I sold magazines door to door, and for those of you who don't know about this, a lot of people get caught up doing that are like lost in the world. There are these companies that they literally walk around, you travel 60, 70 deep from hotel to hotel, and then they put you in buses or like SUVs, like church buses, and bus you out to different parts of whatever town you're in, and you all knock on doors, and everybody reconvenes at the end of the day. Well, I was fourth out of everybody, out of all 70, because there was 3 girls that I could never beat because they were super hot, basically. I mean, it's just the truth. And they knew how to make that work for them in sales. So I could never get the number one, but I was number one amongst the guys. Anyway, that was an interesting time in my life.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And it was pretty crazy, the spiel they would have us give too. But yeah, I'm with you though. I think Scotty Fox is the way to roll. Obviously, the Ty Edwards situation scares me. Like, I just think we need him in the backfield so badly because I think Dior Hubbard's capable. It's just their offensive line is so bad that we need somebody that's able to bust through the line. And Ty Edwards is the only one that's proven to be able to do that this year. And it only happened in one game. I don't even know if he can really do it going forward. We still have to see, but nobody else on the roster that I know of, maybe Jack Litch is to an extent, is physical enough. So if you can't go that route, I'll tell you, I've said this multiple times, Cam Vaughn gets nowhere near the touches he should get. If it were me, I would be figuring out ways to get him the ball in space, on bubbles, on screens, on end arounds, on quarterback draws, quarterback runs. I would put him in the backfield. We've seen him in the backfield already for one snap this year. I think I'd move back to that, handing the ball back there. I mean, we saw Tavon Austin do it once, and it turned into one of the greatest games in the history of NCAA football. 572 all-purpose yards. He was a receiver, although he played running back in high school. So, I don't know. I just think we need to figure that out. But I've seen some people putting air raid down there. I'm not against it. I don't know if air raid is the best way to go. I don't think that's like Rich Rod runs a spread offense, but he has some air raid principles in his offense, but not really not like Dana does, where they attack grass. Like that's what they do, right? It's basically, how do we open up grass here? How do we open up grass here and send people to the opening? And Rich Rod is like, a lot of times, the way Rich Rod's passing offense is, it's pretty vanilla stuff a lot of the time. And Dana's could get intricate with the routes and the stuff. So maybe they've had time to put things in. I have no doubt that Rich Rod can run this stuff, but I'm curious to see where it goes for sure. Let's go to break one more time. On the other side, we have to dive into Jackson's world of college football. And let's look around the Big 12 and pick some games, including UCF and West Virginia. We do that in his world after the break. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our good friends. Let me get this off the screen first here. It's going to be brought to you by our friends, man. We got good friends always, don't we? Over at FanDuel. And with FanDuel, it's a pretty simple thing for me, for you, for everybody. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet $5 that'll make you holla and get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app if you win. That's right. Pick a bet, put down $5 like Jackson has, and if it hits, you unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Whether you're a casual fan or what have you, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. And, of course, we can't forget about our friends at Monarch Money. And look, Monarch Money is one of those apps that I am a big fan of because I'm no good at money. I don't know about you guys, but most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth. Hell, 401k properties, investments, you name it. When you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's where Monarch Money comes in. It's all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or phone. It's built for people with easy and busy lives. If you put off organizing your finances this long, Monarch Money is here for you and does the heavy lifting as well. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. Don't let this opportunity slip through the cracks. It's a great financial opportunity. Use the code LockedOnCollege at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with the code LockedOnCollege. It's segment 3, and here we are with Jackson Johnson,
Oh, here we go.
the offensive coordinator of the Ole Miss Rebels.
Well,
Great job this year so far.
Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And
Hey.
as the Swami would say, let's turn this into a fastest 5 minutes.
Yeah. Give me some the Raiders.
The Raiders.
There we go. Now say nobody circles the wagons.
No one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
I knew you would know it. We've never
Yep.
gone over this.
Oh,
I'm just a
man.
big Swami fan as
Locked
well.
Up Bills will love this.
Huh?
Locked Up Bills will love this.
Locked On Bills will love this. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
they
right,
will.
Jackson. It's your world. I'm just living in it. Take us around your world of college football in the Big 12 today.
Well, we start off with 11 a.m. on Fox Sports 1 between the Arizona Wildcats and the Houston Cougars.
Yeah.
This looks like a toss-up to see who's going to be continuing their run to a surprising run to possibly a Big 12 title. Who's more likely to get it, Houston or Arizona in this matchup?
Neither. I don't think either.
Ooh.
I think they're both like, okay, if you want to talk about tiers, West Virginia is obviously in year 1. These are both year 2, right? It shows. And I think that's where they are as programs in the conference. They're year 2, not quite there yet, but could upset somebody if they played well enough type teams. But I think Arizona's played like the better team so far this year. Houston's kind of gotten drubbed when they played good teams. Arizona hung with a good BYU team. So we're gonna go that route. I like Arizona in this game on the road to beat the Cougs by, I'm gonna say 6 points.
Well, I've got the Houston Cougars winning this one.
You betray me.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I think it's going to be a Houston win 31-28.
In a 31-28 fashion.
Yep, 31-28 fashion. That's right.
All
and
right.
we go to ESPN2 in Fort Worth, Texas at 11 a.m. between the Baylor Bears and the TCU Horned Frogs. Who is more of a pretender in this one?
Well, I mean, I think we saw TCU really had a bad week last week, right? I mean, I don't think anybody saw them losing to Cincinnati like they did. But they did. Well, that wasn't last week, was it? K-State.
Yeah, Kansas State.
K-State. Big. 41-28. And it wasn't that close. Josh Hoover, still a really good player. But I think Baylor is the better team. Baylor did beat Kansas State by a point or two. Not that really matters, but that's one of their only common opponents. And I think Baylor's played better overall football, more consistent this year, although the loss to Auburn is not looking good as we get further into the season. So I like Baylor to win this one. I'll go 38-31 Baylor.
I'm right there with you, partner. I think Baylor is going to win this one in a 45-35 fashion.
In a fashion. Okay.
Yep, in a fashion.
What we got next?
And after the big noon kickoff game, we've got Texas Tech going over to Tempe, Arizona to play the Arizona State Sun Devils, 3 p.m. on Fox.
Yeah. Like the Swami would say after everybody picks one team, you're all on Texas Tech, huh? You know, somebody save the graphic and pick Arizona State. I think the Sun Devils are dangerous in this spot. This is a team I think that still believes they can play with anybody in the country, even after what they did last year. They were out their best player last week, which is a big reason why they lost. Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. If Sam Levitt's in that game, do you think they lose?
Oh, no. It would be a toss-up at best.
I mean, look, listen, Utah beat them 42-10. Don't get me wrong. But Sam Levitt, I think he's worth 14 points anyway, personally. I think because they just looked lost on offense. And that wouldn't have happened with Levitt. He would have figured out some drives, which would not only put points on the board for them, but taken probably a touchdown away from Utah due to just factors, right? It's hard. I mean, it's really hard to say, but I just think they're a different team. And we've seen this before in sports. Sometimes a team is just different with their guy. Now, I don't know what the injury report is for Sam Levitt in this game or if he's even going to be back. Have you seen?
Well, I'm looking at the injury report. It says week to week. That's the latest one I could find. But this week, I think we're going to have more of an idea by Thursday. That's when we're going to know for sure whether Sam Levitt's going to play against Texas Tech.
Right. He's going to be vital for them moving forward. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he has been in Tempe for a long time. I mean, I think he came to the program 2-3 years ago. Him and Kenny Dillingham are they've grown together throughout all this. And I just think that, obviously he enticed them to the best combinations in the country, but obviously you got to go Tech here to win this game by, I would say, at least 10 points. I'll go 44-34. Something like that. No, I don't even know if they'll score that much on Tech's defense. I keep forgetting how good they are on defense.
Man,
let's go 34-17.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's going to be a 38-21 fashion for Texas Tech.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh man, the Holy War is back.
Yeah,
but it's only in mid-October, so I won't get to see it on Rivalry Week. I'll be sobbing on Thanksgiving, but I won't be sobbing in mid-October because I'll be flipping between Alabama, Tennessee, USC, Notre Dame, and BYU, Utah, 7 p.m. Central Time on Fox. This is going to be a game changer for the conference run in the Big 12.
I'll be dialed into this game, obviously, for obvious reasons, as we've gained several thousand BYU subscribers to this channel. So, at the end of the day, while I've said multiple times, I'm a West Virginia boy. I'm going to do West Virginia content. Still want to do my 2 West Virginia videos a day and all that. I'm going to be doing extra BYU videos from time to time now too, just because I've started to follow them a little bit. I think everybody has a team that they like outside of their own team, right? And I think BYU has become that for me just because of personal bias. I mean, I don't know how better to say it. And I'm just not a liar, So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and try to come up with a BS, personally, I just like how they treated me. And I like their fans and all that. And I've gotten to know them. That's pretty much it.
BYU, you roll.
Did you see my thumbnail for the BYU game?
Yeah.
Hold on, let's see if I can get it again. It's worth pulling up anyways. Do you remember what the name of it was?
Oh man, there was one. It was Mountaineer Paul gets lost in Provo.
No. The one for the Holy War. I did a moment on the Holy War.
Oh, look, yeah. BYU fan educates West Virginia fan.
No, this one on the screen.
Oh, paddle time.
Yeah, it's got Kalani Sitake with a paddle and Kyle Whittingham bent over and get ready to get smacked. Oh, God.
Kyle Whittingham's been acting bad.
Huh?
Kyle Whittingham's been acting bad.
Yeah, yeah. You know that's an AI Kyle Whittingham.
Oh yeah.
That's an AI Kyle Whittingham. I had to. It took me forever to get it to where it was close enough to even be able to do it. But anyways, let's. So anyways, I obviously like. Um, obviously like BYU in this game. I do think they're going to be at home. That's why I picked them to win.
Well, I've got BYU winning in a 31-28 fashion.
Listen, I'm not going to be morally blackmailed. If anybody wants to unsubscribe because I do the occasional BYU video, bye. That's how I feel about it. If you can't support me after I had a breakthrough like that with a video that did so well, I hate to even keep talking about it because it's like 10 days ago now, but I gained thousands of subscribers from one team. So I said if I'd still do 2 West Virginia videos a day, and I do if I go a video that I wasn't going to do otherwise, it does nothing. It literally does nothing to you. You're just being, you know what I mean? So if you're unsubscribing, you were looking for a reason. That's how I look at it. So, and it's like it's every day. So I'm going to stand on that. And if people don't like it, they don't like it. That's just that's how I feel about it at the end of the day. Say less.
There you go.
All right. So,
Oklahoma State, ESPN2. I'm going to go with Cincinnati in a 42-17 victory. I mean, the life is gone from Oklahoma State for 2025.
yeah.
And do you want to wait for West Virginia and Central Florida for later in the week, or do you want to add West Virginia and Central Florida to tonight?
Oh yeah, no, we'll talk about it for a minute and then we'll get out of here.
Right.
Obviously, Oklahoma State's not winning. I like Cincy by multiple scores. Cincy's turning into a dark horse conference contender. Need to see more of them, but I mean, listen, I love that team as far as how well they're playing. You know what I mean? Don't like them as a West Virginia fan necessarily, but like if you're asking me like how do I feel about their team right now, pretty good. Like they're playing well. So, all right. So, set us up.
Here we go. Cincinnati's going to win 42-17 against Oklahoma State. And we've got the matchup, the one you're looking forward to here on Locked On West Virginia on TNT and HBO Max. The West Virginia Mountaineers against the Central Florida Knights.
Cue the Jack Nicholson.
There you go.
This game worries me. We're on the road. It's a good football team. Like they have looked better than we have this year. But here's the thing that bothers me the most about it, I think. Jackson, just to be honest with you, they're in year one of their program, right? Just like we are. And you look at their schedule, like obviously they started the year at Jack State. They barely pulled that out. Jack State's a good program at the G5. They dominated A&T. They dominated UNC. They lost to K-State, who is surging and is a better team. Excuse me. And they really hung with Kansas. And then they really hung with Cincinnati. They're playing a lot more competitive brand of football than we are right now. And it worries me. It seems like Scott Frost has outdone Rich Rod in year one so far, both by record and by performance, but he doesn't have the key injuries that we've had. And that's a factor. I think you have, if you're going to compare them, because they're going to get compared because they're both retreads back at their first years at the place they had most success. Obviously, the 2013, was it 2013 UCF? Which was the one that went undefeated?
2017 was
17.
the one that went unbeaten.
Yeah.
Central Florida lost only one game in 2013. That was against South Carolina in September 28th of 2013. That was on ABC.
Wow. That's pretty good. That's why I have you on, buddy. That brain of yours. But
Appreciate it, man.
yeah, Raven. Somebody asking about a Max Brown update. I think he's probably going to be available. in this game, and that's a factor. I mean, that would be one I would be interested in seeing as well. I think he's a great passer of the football. We've proven that on this show a couple of different times, and he would be somebody I think he really wants in. And he doesn't have much time left in his career either. I would love to see Max Brown just to see what he can do. But any of these three I'm going to be excited about no matter who it is, because I think they all offer their own versions of something that's exciting. But for the most part, UCF is in the better position here. I think logically, you probably want to lean towards UCF if you're picking the game. But I'm not going to pick the game yet personally on this channel until I do a full crossover with Mike Gittins from the Locked On UCF. But just my overall thoughts on the game are, I think the biggest storyline for me is I'm asking you guys, let me know in the comments. And by the way, please like the video. Please subscribe if you can. Share the video out too if you can. But here's the thing I want to know before we jump out of here is Rich Rod's in year one. He's a retread. Scott Frost is in year one. He's a retread. They're both having similar years, but UCF better year for sure. Does that mean anything? Or is Rich Rod just at a disadvantage because of all the injuries and the way things played out? Or is there no excuses? I mean, how do you feel about this? Because there are going to be people that really compare these two maybe for a long time as they were both retreads, like I said, and back to throw programs that they had a lot of success in. Obviously, the UCF team claims the 2017 national championship because of that undefeated year. And they were good enough to win it that year. They really were. They beat an Auburn team in the bowl game that I think beat Alabama that year. And
Alabama and Georgia.
Yeah. So they were legit. So they had great success under Scotty. So we'll see what happens. But West Virginia's not going to lay down. And Rich Rodriguez's teams typically get better, Jackson. So what are your thoughts on the game? You can make your pick if you want.
Ooh. I think I'm going to wait. I'm going to keep people wanting for more over the next few days.
Okay. That sounds good to me. Do we miss any Big 12 games?
Everybody waiting. I like to keep everybody waiting.
Yeah. Do we miss any other Big 12 games?
Yeah. Oh, we got them all.
We got them all. Okay, cool. Got to roll, but guys, make sure you check out Jackson Johnson at the Voice of College Football Alabama channel at the Jacksonian, where he'll be getting a new co-host on the Alabama channel as well. And that should be happening pretty soon.
We'll be doing some magic on Alabama with the Voice College Football, but I can tell you this, you're going to see some interesting lineups on each of the episodes on Primetime Live and Alabama with the Voice College Football, but I will say you'll be seeing a lot of familiar faces and a lot of fun people, and it's going to be a wild ride. All right there on Alabama with the Voice College Football, and you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I have numerous episodes of Jacksonian, including my next one with Nathan Bomber Brown of CFB Mafia and Wild Ute discussing the Holy War. And you can see me on Locked On West Virginia a few times a week for Jackson's World of College Football. And you can hear my calls on the Paul Feinbaum Show twice a week. And for more updates, what I've got going on Alabama with the Voice College Football, Jacksonian, Jackson's World College Football, Locked On West Virginia, and the Paul Feinbaum Show, where I call in twice a week. Check me out, Jats VOCFB on @/Twitter and on Instagram and Threads, JatsShots543-908.
All right, guys, and we will see you on the next one. For Jackson, for me, make sure you do us a big favor and check out Locked On Big 12. Drake Toll, doing it big over there, obviously, is the most college-ready program in the country at Locked On Big 12. Most exciting conference in college sports is the Big 12. From the rivalries to the championship of every game in between, Locked On Big 12 does it bigger than most, and they do it on YouTube. They do it on podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast. You can be part of the Locked On podcast, Jackson.
Oh, wow.
It's your team every day.
Ooh, yeah, it is.
See you guys later. Thanks for joking around with us tonight. It's a little late. But Raven picks UCF. Wow. That's a big one. That's a big one in UCF's favor.
Wow.
But yeah, I agree. Nancy Hodges, yeah, they are falling like flies. All right, guys, we got to bounce. We're way over on time here, but I will see you guys in the morning or in the afternoon or something. I'm so tired I can barely think. And we'll see you then. But until then, for Jackson, he wants you to roll down tide, and for us, we just want you to cue them country roads right when we make our Wookiee noises.